Brought a little hardware with us here today on Cards TV. I'm Sean Moth. We appreciate you watching. You know the head coach, Rex Akarma, and you've seen a few of these around campus before. Back to back to back Big East champions as the Cards capture the crown in Tampa. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you, Sean. It was a great time. You know, it was a perfect weekend for us from beginning to end, and the team and I are just ecstatic.
It's kind of fun, too, the women down there as well. In addition to the baseball team, it gave you guys a little extracurricular activity and maybe keep your minds off the tennis. But as you said, it really was a fun weekend.
It was a great weekend. I mean, the Louisville Cardinals went in there and invaded the baseball team, won their first 2 games and just blew them out. And we got to support them in the second game. We had a great time. And having Mark Beckham and his women's team there too was just kind of a great family atmosphere. They came by and supported us in the finals, while because the USF fans were trying to shout us down, they would not let the USF fans do that. So I want to give a shout out to Mark Beckham and his women's team for that.
Let's talk about the weekend, and we'll begin with the first round matchup, the number 2 seeded Cards facing Georgetown. And I mean, you guys really didn't waste any time. You guys were dominant to open the win.
Yeah, I mean, their doubles really scared us a little bit. They had great records in all 3 of their doubles, and that's kind of we've kind of struggled with that. We thought, like, if we could just win doubles, things will break our way, and we did. And we did some new things in doubles. Sean, we kind of changed up our doubles 3 days before the tournament, and some of the principles worked.
Excellent. And I have to believe that when you get a first-round matchup as the 2 seed, by seeds you're expected to win that, but it's important to win it kind of in an economy of points, because you've got to pace yourself over the course of the weekend. Absolutely.
When your first round is at Friday at 9, then semifinals is the next day, and the finals is Sunday at 9. So you're talking about 3 grueling matches in about a 51-hour time period. So you really have to be efficient in everything you do.
The Cards move on to the second round against a very talented St. John's team, and a little bit of a scare in the doubles point as you fell behind, but you rallied the troops and you moved on to a pretty dominant win.
I mean, we just talked about weathering the storm. You know, I told the players, let's be like that tall oak tree after the end of a hurricane or a tornado, and everybody gets out of their house and they see the tree standing strong. We knew we were going to have to weather a lot of storms. I mean, St. John's, one of the most talented teams I've seen all year, especially in a doubles side. They was so loud during the doubles point. They get so fired up. But I think we chipped away at them in singles, and I think our superior fitness really came through. Want to thank Coach Zach Farrell in assisting us to getting those guys in shape.
We moved to the championship, and we thought it was going to be a collision course between the 1 seed Notre Dame and the 2 seed Louisville, a matchup, or rematch, I should say, of the previous weekend. But you have to factor in that the USF squad was a pretty good one, and they're playing in their home court, and they were able to win a marathon, really an unbelievable match against Notre Dame, and set up the championship. And you know, I know you're really not worried about who you face in the championship, and maybe Notre Dame might have been better because you didn't have to deal with a home crowd, but it didn't matter. You guys are the champs.
Yeah, I tell you what, I mean, like you said, I had feelings for both of them. Like, I'd like to play this team because of this, that team because of this, but man, that semifinal was unbelievable. Probably the match of the tournament, 5 hours and 5 minutes long between USF and Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost to USF 4-3 a month earlier, and I know that they're not as comfortable in Tampa with all the elements. And South Florida, I think that's why they pushed to host. They're a different team at home. They're like a top 20 team at home, and they struggle on the road year after year. But since they hosted it, they're so hard to beat. And I think that loss, I think that win against Notre Dame just proved that one more time that they are one of the best teams in the country at home.
There are sports where you can have that workhorse that can literally put the team on his back or her back and take you to a title. Tennis is a little different dynamic. You can certainly have a guy that can achieve a lot, but you've got to get 4 points. And
right.
One person can really only affect 2 of those. With that being said, though, Sebastian named most outstanding player of the tournament, and I know you're really impressed with the weekend he had.
I think Sebastian, I know in the middle of the year he lost a few in a row, kind of dented his confidence. We just really encouraged him. We felt like he could be a great, great player. And in the postseason, like Coach Rick Pitino talked to us right before we left, that it's a totally different season and you've got to look at yourself differently. And I think Sebastian took that to heart, and Coach gave us a great speech before we left and really motivated the team. And you're starting to really see his true potential, and I think next year he'll be possibly the best player in the Big East.
He certainly was the postseason this year, and as you look at this group of young players, certainly accomplished already at an early stage in their career, and you said the team maybe kind of snuck out from under the shadow of the Fab Four, because they certainly had left their legacy, and I'm sure as proud as those guys are of what they did, they're sick and tired of hearing about them, and they're ready to carve their own identity, and it seems like they have.
Definitely. I mean, I'm so happy with the Fire Four. I mean, they really led the team on the court and off the court. The freshmen saw how much the seniors wanted it. I mean, they all played a significant role, in my opinion. Robert Hall got back to being Mr. Clinch. Andrew Carter, I think people saw him last year and they said, weren't you playing number 6 in the lineup last year? And he just smiled at him. And Andrew, theoretically, he won at Georgetown. Then he was beating the nationally ranked player from St. John 6'4", 4'2". Then he was ahead of the #1 player from USF 2-1 in the third. So just from statistic standpoint, Andrew, yes, he played number 6 last year, but he was the best #1 singles performer in the entire tournament. I wish he could have finished those matches out, because he had a chance to be the most outstanding performer. Albert Wagner had 4 wins. Michael Lippens had 4 wins. But I mean, I am so happy for these seniors and what type of legacy they've carved out in the past and definitely this year.
The Cardinals had certainly put together a resume that earned them a postseason berth, but this trophy guarantees that spot. So Tuesday they find out the field of 64 and which of the 16 host sites they will travel to, and that will be 2 weeks from Friday when the NCAA begins. And I know this is something you're no stranger to. It's, as Coach Pitino told you, a different time of the year. You wipe the slate clean, but you don't forget about the fact that you've got a title in your pocket as you head into the NCAAs.
Absolutely. I think we're playing our best tennis as a team. I think our doubles is going to improve, and I really feel like these guys feel like they could get into the Sweet 16, and I'm not going to change their mind about that. And we're going to work really hard, and they're just really happy. Peaking at the right time, at the right moment is something I'll always remember from this team.
Congratulations again on the championship, and good luck with the NCAAs.
Thank you, Sean.
You know we'll talk to Coach when things get into that postseason. For now, we appreciate you watching and look forward to that next chat right here on CardsTV.